You're still on to Plus TV Africa, and the program is Today with John and Helen. Our final guest for today's show is a passionate educator and advocate, Bukola Aderemi Ladigbolu. Bukola is a dedicated teacher at heart, holding a degree in linguistics from the University of Ilorin, a postgraduate diploma in education, and a master's in early childhood education from Lagos State University. She's also the author of 3 insightful books, including Don't Mess with Their Flowers, a pivotal work on rape prevention and counseling for victims, which has been approved by the Education Ministry for use in schools across 3 states. In addition to her literary contributions, Bukola is a certified adolescent, marriage, and relationship coach. Interesting, isn't it?
Very interesting and exciting. Living in Lagos with her family, Bukola continues to make a significant impact through her advocacy and educational efforts. Today, she joins us to discuss a critical and sensitive topic, child rape. Are parents doing enough? Please join us in welcoming Bukola Aderemi Ladigbolu to the show. I hope I got the pronunciation right.
You got it right. You got close enough. So, Bukola, it's good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much.
And thanks for agreeing to come. Because this is a topic that I'm sure is very close to the hearts of a lot of people.
Sure.
But it's so sensitive, we're not even bold enough to come out and talk about it. So let's fire the first salvo. Now, could you share with us what inspired you to write your book, Don't Mess with Their Flowers?
Yes, Don't Mess with the Flowers is a book I wrote, I think 2 years ago. Yeah. It came out. Why I wrote the book, Don't Mess with the Flowers, I had an experience.
Whoa.
Almost rape experience.
You have the book here, yes?
Yeah. The book is
okay,
here.
that's it right there.
So it happened, I was out of secondary school when I had my almost raped experience. I was almost raped. It actually happened in a bank.
Whoa.
Wow.
It happened in a bank. It was normal in those days after secondary school. You go for vacation job.
Yes.
Because I hadn't gotten my admission. So I went to this bank then, and this guy almost raped me. We fought for over 40 minutes in the bank.
Goodness.
Bank?
I mean bank, yeah. He locked the door. Yes, the building big, and the marketing staff, they were not around, the staff. And he said something, even if you scream, nobody's going to hear you. We are alone in this big building. Just to make me scared, but I wasn't. So it's because of that my almost raped experience that made me to write Don't Mess with Their Flowers.
Whoa.
Great.
You just got me awestruck.
Oh, really? I'm shocked.
It happened in the bank. And I know quite a lot of youth, preteens are going through or went through this, but no one to pour out to. But when they know you experience a near rape situation, with this book, a lot have been coming out. I've counseled so many.
So based on your experience, what are the most common misconceptions parents have about child rape?
I think I will try and list 3 or 4 thereabout. The first one, some parents, they think babies or children don't get raped. This is a lie. Is it
like self-denial or what?
No, they are ignorant. Let's be honest. Yeah, they are. Something happened that broke my heart. I think 2-3 years thereabouts when Aisha Buhari was the first lady. It happened in Kaduna. This baby in diapers was raped.
Wow.
It was, the word is horrendous.
Yeah.
She was raped in diaper. It was even the wife that held their family friends. It was the wife that held the baby's legs for the man to rape.
No, don't say it.
Crazy. If you go online, just type Kaduna. Yes, you see Aisha when she went to visit and carry the baby.
Goodness.
It was horrible. So first parents think babies, children, toddlers don't get raped. That is the first misconception. And if that is not erased, we won't be bent on having support and creating a safe environment for these children, for these hapless children. Then number 2, they tell you, no, it's only girls that are being raped, not boys. I've had encounter with a lot of boys that told me after my book came out that, yes, I can remember my auntie almost raped me. Somebody even told me, anytime I see auntie so-so's daughter, I'm going to rape. I said, no, you don't need to do that. 2 wrongs don't make it right. So boys are being raped.
As vengeance.
Yes. I'm going to retaliate. Do you understand? Yeah. So and according to World Health Organization, 1 in 4 boys are 1 in 4 girls are being sexually molested, abused, and 1 in 3 boys are being sexually abused. Then the third thing again is that they will tell you rape, that children, they can't even remember, even if it happened to them. Don't forget that children, kids, they don't forget traumatic events. They don't ever. They don't forget. So if those things are not being handled carefully, they have what we call psychological disorders and emotional stress later on.
The trauma never goes away.
No. Until they are able to overcome, talk to somebody and get
like
maybe a therapist. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, what's the solution? How do you think parents can create a safe environment at home where children will feel comfortable discussing sensitive
you said
issues like abuse?
The environment has to be, open and honest.
Between the parents and the child.
Yes, you have to have this environment, open discussion about it, be honest about it. This is what is happening. Then another thing, it has to be done in a relaxed environment. Then talk to your children, listen to them. Let them ask questions. Yes, and listen. Very, very important. They have a lot they are going through. They have a lot they are bottling. They only need somebody to listen to them. Listen to them. Create that avenue for them, family discussion, to sit down, talk to them, know what they are going through. Don't be busy. Then another thing in a family, again, that our parents can help these children, again, is that education. As a parent, do you know what to tell them? You have to be educated.
Yes.
Your exposure too. You have to know, because they will ask questions. Do you have the ready-made answers for them? So as parents, you have to be educated to talk about these things. And of course, like I always say, sex education can never be too early, but it can be too late.
Whoa.
It can never be too early. And there's something that we call age-appropriate language.
Age-appropriate
language. Very important. Yeah, very important. Yes. The way I'm going to handle a toddler, talking about sex education, is not the same I'm going to handle a teenager.
True.
So there's something we call age-appropriate language. Very, very important, very key. So those are some of the things that you can do in a family setting.
Yeah.
And you watch who comes in the home too.
Right.
Okay.
So what are the warning signs parents should look out for that would indicate that their child is a victim of abuse?
I want to say 85% of the time the signs are there. And let me say the other percentage, the signs might not be there.
So can you elaborate?
So for the signs that will be there, maybe a child who is outspoken is suddenly withdrawn, not doing well in school, just wants to keep to him or herself. Those are the signs. Then something happened, a child was raped last month. It was the grandma giving the girl a bath that noticed the tearing in the vagina before she was not taken to the hospital. This happened last month. You understand? So rape occurs, let me say, every day.
But a lot are covered.
They are covering up. So their signs are there. Like somebody shared an experience with me. She's almost 60. Some of the signs. Then another thing now, good. If as a parent, you have to be vigilant. Very, very important. Be careful about details. If there is an uncle that comes to the house that your daughter is too over-excited to have uncle around, it could be a sign. And if there is this uncle or auntie that whenever he or she comes, your child is withdrawn, something is obviously a sign. Because somebody shared with me that she tried to let her parents understand that there's something about this uncle coming to her house, that when she was growing up, uncle was always rubbing her breast and stuff like that. She said she tried to make her parents to see the sign, but they didn't notice that she was just fortunate that she was not being raped by this uncle. But she kept doing it every visit.
But the uncle was being inappropriate with her.
Yes, he kept doing it. No boundaries, no,
Okay, now you said so much you've talked about education
Parents,
on the side
the
of
kids,
parents,
yeah.
on the side of the children. We have education all over us, everywhere. You know, you can learn from everywhere.
Outside the school environment.
Now let's even focus on schools and our educational institutions. What roles do you think they will play in supporting rape prevention and counseling for victims?
For me, I'm a teacher too. For me, I would say teachers, you have to first love what you're doing. Because if you love what you're doing, if you are conscious of the fact that you have lives in your hands, you have destinies in your hands, there's a way you go about them. You handle them with love. And there's something I always tell people. People respond to love. Their kids, they like, just look at toddlers. They love aunties. They listen to their aunties more than parents. If a parent is trying to correct a toddler, we say, no, mommy, my auntie said I should do it like this. Auntie is number one. Yes, the teachers. So if you have teachers that are compassionate about what they are doing, they will achieve a lot. Love is the language first. People respond to love. Love those kids under you. Be ready to listen to them. You are a caregiver. When they get to their parents, it's a different story. But in school, you are the caregiver. Show them love. Be patient with them to know what is happening. That child that is always sleeping in the class, you don't know, maybe he or she's been molested at home or somewhere. So if you are painstaking, you will know a lot of things about them. Then another thing that is very important as a teacher or caregiver is this. Aside showing them love, you have to train. Go for training. A lot of seminars go. You need to be equipped. Because these kids, teacher or parents, the first thing, they don't want you to judge them.
The children?
No, they don't want. I had a counseling session with somebody on phone. I've not seen her before. I don't know what she looks like. The first thing she told me, please, ma, don't judge me. Before we even started the conversation, the first thing, don't judge me. So don't judge them. The child has steals. It might be that she lacks attention at home. It's a way of getting back. They do funny things. So for teachers, you get training, show that love, show that you are representing their parents. As a caregiver, love can achieve a lot of things. Be painstaking with them.
Yes.
They will open up.
And listening skills.
Yes, you have to listen. Don't call them short. Let them pour out. Because some feel so free to talk to teachers more than I have. A lot like that their parents will never get to know. And you know, when you counseling, you talk of confidentiality is important. You don't divulge information. You counsel, you get help for them. So as I'm talking, there are children that have been raped as toddlers that the parents won't ever get to know. And some of them, when they come and ask them, you're not afraid of pregnancy, you're not afraid of infection, they will just tell me, no, please, my mommy must not know. You are the only one I'm telling.
But don't you think the parents have a right to know? Even if the child is saying, don't tell my mom, don't tell my
Like
dad.
this particular girl that said, I don't know her parents. She's in Ilorin, I'm in Lagos. It was a fun thing. And she told me, I was raped on the day of I was having my end of the session. You know, this prom, or what do they call it?
Yes.
So she said it actually happened. The guy wanted to go out, date her, she refused. As she excused herself, she went into the ladies and she was raped right there. I don't even know her parents. I don't know, it was a phone thing. But I took her through counseling sessions. Another one too, have you told your parents about it? No, I don't want to tell anybody. You know why I won't force them to tell their parents? When I had my almost raped experience, it took me like 30 years before I told anyone.
30 years?
Yeah. You don't like talking about it. You just want to live as if everything is fine.
Happened.
Yeah. Kind of live in denial, just carry on. At least my own, thank God it didn't happen. So why I don't? So it took me like 30 years to get over and come out, radio stations, TV, talk about it.
But don't you think you would have healed earlier if you had a confidence that you could relate?
There's something I tell people. Your shock absorber differs. My healing process, if it's going to take me 30, 40 years, the important thing for me is to get healed. Once you are ready to, you don't force anybody to talk or to come out. Healing is a process.
Healing is a process.
Is a process. And you have to be patient.
Yeah.
You don't force it.
Okay, so let's look at the red flags. You know, because we have to be able to identify red flags early enough. What steps do you think parents should take or can take to educate the children about consent and body autonomy from a young age?
Yes, it's very, very important. I had an experience. I went to a school to talk to children, toddlers. First, it's very, very important. Let them know what each organ in the body is called. No nickname. I've been telling parents this. No nickname. A boy, you have a right to know that what you have is a penis. You don't have a chocolate or things like that. Because I've heard it before. Don't give nickname. This is what you have. A girl, you have a breast. You understand?
Yeah.
So I went to this place to talk to these toddlers, and of course, what I did, a boy and a girl, if you have confidence in yourself, come out. A girl came out, a boy came out. Now tell me all the organs, the parts in your body. None of them could tell me I have penis, I have vagina.
They were shy.
Yes, so that one for me is a big deal. It's common. It's something I've noticed. They can't say it. When my son was 2, it was something I was talking, don't touch my penis. But he said, no, don't say that. I said, he must say it. That is what he has. Yes. So I made him to know that some things, you know, there's something in early child education, the formative years is very important. Don't mess it up. And it's sad, it's unfortunate parents are messing it up. From age 0 to 7, a child is formed. From 8, it's only God that can change that child. From 0 to 7, that is when you have the whole work to do. And you know, because of the situation in Nigeria, in our environment, you are like, first 10 years of my marriage, I want to really work. So that by 70, I have my house, I will now, that formative years, they mess it up. They are in the care of house help, neighbor that might be abusing them without the parents knowing.
So red flags.
You understand? So the red flags for parents now, let them know what the body parts are called.
Yes, that's one.
That is number 1. Then number 2, be free to discuss issues of sex. Like I've said, age appropriate. Yes. Very, very important.
Yes, communication.
Communication is key. Let the child be able to express his or her feelings without being silenced, without being accused, without retaliation, without like, why did you, no. Don't be judgmental.
Yes.
As parents.
Okay.
Then there's something that we call privacy and confidentiality is key. Then let them know about respect. You as a parent show the way, lead the way, be a good example because they are following you.
Yes.
So you have to make sure that you put all this into practice, and those kids, they will be fine. Set boundaries, very, very important. Set boundaries. And the boy, we focus more on the girl child. Who are those ones raping? I don't know the boys.
The boys.
So let them know when a girl tells you no, it is no. Know about consent. Know that you have to set boundaries.
Yes.
So let's enforce it.
From early.
Yes. Not when they are now 9 or 10 preteens. You are now it starts early. You coming into my room, you know you must knock. You know, even if you want as simple as turning on the TV at home, you know you must ask for my permission. Can I? Because I can remember when my boy was small, I was somewhere and the boy called. I want to turn on the TV at home. And one man said, well, boy calling you because of ordinary TV. My kids won't do this. I said, yes, I taught him that. And he cannot eat my food after my meal without saying thank you. It's not possible now.
No, that's cultural.
Do you understand? Also, all those things, it start from young age. And they grow up getting used to stuff like that. They know they have to say, excuse me, can I take this? They know you have to take permission. They know there's something called consent. You just don't do things. If the other person saying no is no. Yes means yes. And set boundaries. Don't say because it's my uncle, you can bang into my room or my father and things like that. No, we set boundaries.
Well, okay. All said and done. Rape has happened.
Yeah.
Let's look at post-rape now.
Post-rape therapy.
So, for parents,
how do we support?
For parents or caregivers, the first thing, show love to that person. It's not a time to shift blame. It's not a time to say, why did you attend that party and I told you not to attend? If only you had covered up. Leave those ones aside. Not a time for shifting blame or you understand. No, then physical, what will I say? The physical aspect is important. Tight hug, number 1. Then listen. Believe all the story. Then validate. Don't validate. He or she, let him be aware that you know you can relate with the feelings. Don't argue. Then another thing, you as a parent too, you need healing too.
Yeah.
You need
Because
healing.
You have lost
you need
something as
healing.
well.
Why I'm saying this, as somebody whose daughter was raped at maybe 7 or 8, she got to know when the child was a teenager for the first time, opened up. She only knew this child is withdrawn, not the sharp person again. So when the daughter now opened up, she was sad and called me, I'm going to commit suicide. I've failed my daughter. Wow. And I told her, suicide is never part of the option. You need healing. So as parents, through healing, like I said earlier, is a process. Don't rush them. Be patient with them. You have to be patient. The healing might take a year, 2, 3 to come. Just be patient with them. Then, make sure that you report cases of abuse. Yeah. Never see it as a family affair. Because it's your husband, it's your brother, or whatever. Report all cases of abuse. Yes. Then another thing that I will say again is that after reporting, then you have to sit down and think. Your safety plan is very, very expedient. What do I mean by safety plan? You might need to relocate that child from that environment. Yeah. Why? Because the same person can rape you over and over. Because like my story that I was sharing, after I fought with this person for over 40 minutes in the bank.
You were strong, physical fight.
Yes. And he now said, I'm even tired, I can't do anything again. He told me. As I was saying, the same person that I fought for over 40 minutes was the same person that dropped me in my house. When the same person can rape you again, it never occurred to me that it could take me to a bush or anywhere or anything. It dropped me again. So safety plans should be put in place, relocation and stuff like that.
Gosh, this is deep. This is deep. Well, government, are we getting enough support from government? I know that most
they're trying, but let me say something. It is a societal issue.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it needs a comprehensive approach in dealing with this thing. Governments, agencies, everyone, all hands should be on deck to fight rape and rapists. Just like we did with the time of Ebola and stuff like that. Yeah. Like HIV, the campaign then in the early 80s was everywhere, HIV. Yeah. We need to do the same thing.
Be more aggressive.
And it's sad. It's sad that even people that you don't expect
that could be rapists are, right?
Yeah. That's the truth. And there's this popular saying that we say, everyone is a potential rapist. Don't be too trusting. This one can't do it. Like I was saying, some parents, they misconception. This one I didn't add. They think it's being perpetrated by strangers. No. Most of the time, family members within.
Friends.
Whoa.
So we have to be extra
That's
careful.
Interesting. And I'm told we're running out of time.
So that's it.
This has been a very, to say the least, a very interesting conversation with you, Bukola Aderemi Ladigbolu. Yeah, at least now we know when the red flags are up and how to protect our young ones from predators.
Yes,
because they are indeed
predators. And pedophiles too.
Pedophiles. I'd like to thank you so much for coming on the show. If Helen was here, I'd have introduced you as a Rotarian. But she's not. She's always jealous when I talk about Rotary. So I'll send that message.
Let her come. And let me give you a copy of Don't Mess with the Flowers.
Don't mess with your flowers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Don't mess with the flowers.
Well, I'll get you to autograph it before you leave.
Yeah. So, still on Today with John and Helen, as we prepare to round up the show, let's ask our dear JS for his nugget for this week as usual.
Yes, I have my nugget, and of course the nugget is to help us involved in public speaking. That's everyone, because we all speak in public. So the nugget for today is this: if you don't buy a ticket, you won't win the raffle.
Wow.
If you don't buy a ticket, you don't win the raffle. So simply put, if you don't dare, you don't win. Just like leaders who don't want to take risks, public speakers who have the opportunity to step out and go on stage, experience stage fright, and are likely to go home with nothing. As a public speaker, your message needs to be let out and must be let out completely, barring all inhibitions. And there are skills for doing this. Skills for clarity, brevity, style, and poise. And only a few of these skills, those are just a few of the skills that you need that I just talked about. So believe it or not, even silence is a skill to be learned. You have to know when to keep quiet and listen, like you said.
True.
A leader who cannot face an audience doesn't deserve his stripes. Executive speech skills is the cherry on the leadership cake. So buy your tickets and stand a chance to win in the raffle. Who dares wins. I'm sure you've seen that movie.
I haven't. I'd like to look for it.
Who dares, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Long time, yes. So that's it for this week. I want to thank you all for being such great company on Today with John and Helen. And I also want to thank Cece for being here for us today.
It's my pleasure.
Thanks so much. Remember that Saturday night, Saturday nights, yes, there will be a repeat at 10:30, and Sunday morning at 9:30 on DSTV 48 and Star Times 308. So thanks for being with us. I'm John Senaya, and I'm out.
This is CCDK. Have a great week.